Friends, welcome back to the Autry Benton Show. Today's organization is taking the Bible to public school students. Yes, public school students in Autry County. Today's organization are folks that are with Coastal Student Ministries, and it's my honor to have here. So thank you. We got a whole tribe here today, and we're excited. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited to be here.
Yes. So, right off the bat, tell us the who, what, and why. What is Coastal Student Ministries?
Yeah, well, Coastal School Ministries is a nonprofit local ministry here in Autry County that is protected by South Carolina law. And so we get to take public school students, transport them to a nearby facility that is usually a local host facility church. And in that church, we are able to teach Bible classes to these students. There are 3 things that we have to do for it to follow the law. That first one is parent permission forms. So we are making sure that those parents know exactly where their students are going to be. And that we communicate that with the school. So the school is releasing them into our hands and into our responsibility. Also, that we cannot receive any public funding, so we are all privately funded. And the third one is that it cannot take place on campus. We have to transport them off campus.
Wow, well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. So I'm going to kind of go around the group and let everybody introduce themselves and tell, a little bit about their personal life and kind of who you are. So I'm going to start with you, Shannon.
Shannon Jordan, and I'm the interim executive director. I've been with Coastal School Ministries for almost 2 years now. I was on the board for those 2 years. Wonderful transition from my business life as a business owner of a sporting goods store in Conway. And it's just been a blessing to be able to serve the Lord in this capacity.
I got you. And married and kids?
Yes, married to Dennis Jordan and have 1 son.
And from Conway?
From Conway.
Shout out Conway. So good. Thank you so much. That's you.
Neil Johnson. Been involved in the ministry 2 years as well as a board member. Before that, just as a fundraiser and supporter of it, had found out about it probably 4 or 5 years ago through the previous executive director, Randy Hilborn. Once I heard about it, it just captured me. I mean, it just grabbed my heart, and wanted to help as much as I could because just of how unbelievable it was of a ministry, and hearing the third-party stories of how well it was working.
Yeah.
And how God was working through this ministry, and the people around it was just so exciting. I just kind of naturally progressed into it. As for personal life, business owner, local, born and raised here in Myrtle Beach. No offense to Conway. On this side of the
We
water.
love Myrtle Beach too.
Married to Caroline Johnson. She's my wife. She's also a native. We got 2 little kids, a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. Love them to death.
You're in a busy stage of life, buddy.
Yes. There's never a dull moment around the house. I own Heritage Construction and Development. Been in construction locally for almost 25 years.
Wow, that's great.
Hi, my name is Carmen Piver, and I am a teacher with Coastal School Ministries. This is my 4th semester, and I teach, my base school is Conway Middle School, and I have 5 classes a day, 6th through 8th grade. I'm a native of Conway my whole life. I'm married to Tim Piver, and at home we have 3 boys. They range from 15, this is mine, Connor, and then 13 and 6.
Wow, that's great. That's great. I've never seen this lady before.
So I'm Amanda Benton. I'm Autry's wife, and we have 4 amazing, incredible kids and 2 grandsons, and a daughter-in-law and a son-in-law. And I first heard about Coastal Student Ministries when they had a meeting somewhere near our church on 905, and you and I went to the meeting, and I thought, how have we never heard about this, and why is it not in Conway? And so it had been around for a number of years, but just could not get my mind around why Conway didn't know about it or why I didn't know about it. We've had 3 children graduate from public school and 1 son that's still a freshman at Conway High School. And actually he went through the program with Carmen back at Conway Middle School and loved it. And so I just wanted to be a part and however I could serve, and that's how I became a board member and have been serving for 3 years. So yeah, just incredible, and so glad to be a part.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And yourself?
My name is Lindsay Leslie. I am not from Horry County, sorry.
No,
I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's where I was born and raised.
have you here.
Thank you, thank you. I do love my native state of South Carolina.
Yes.
Went to Clemson University.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, that's right, go Tigers. And graduated in elementary education and also master's in education. Always knew I was called to serve public school students, but really kind of struggled with my desire to also be in full-time mission, and just the way public school is today. I didn't really know there was a way to do both, to serve public school students during the public school day and be on mission. And so when my husband and I moved here to Conway, he works for Coastal Football, so that's what's brought us to Conway. When I found out about Coastal School Ministries from multiple different modes, I heard Randy, our former executive director, on the radio. I saw buses driving by. I had a friend invite me to the gala, the fundraiser, and God really was just throwing it in my face. And I knew that either I was going to say yes out of obedience or I wasn't going to be obedient. So for me, it was just obvious. But I've been with the ministry for 4 semesters now, and this is the first semester that I've been program director. But before that, I was a teacher at the high school and at the middle school level.
Wow, that's great. Well, thank you so much. And tell us about you, bud.
My name's Connor Fain. I'm from here in Conway, and I'm a former student at Coastal School Ministries. I was a student last year when I was at Conway Middle. I was with my mom, and yeah, I mean, it made an impact on my life. I mean, it ended up leading me back to the Lord. That's when I gave my life to Jesus, and so it truly made an impact on my life, opened my eyes to the truth, and I was able to just understand the Bible at a level that I've never understood it before, and I was able to be with my friends every day, and so it made a big impact on my life.
Wow, that's great. Great. Thank y'all so much for sharing. So I know you told us a little bit about the ministry, so I'm gonna kind of break it down or whatever. So like this is like maybe foreign to some people. Public school, separation of church and state, Bible, what we're doing here. So tell us one more time how this works, kind of like, if you don't mind.
I would love to. I tell my own parents how it works, and they're people that grew up in the church, raised me in the church, and every time I explain it, I have to re-explain it. So I would love to re-explain.
Yes.
We get to partner with churches across the county.
Okay.
We are currently serving this year. We've been able to serve 11 out of the, I believe, 22 public middle school and high schools. Our goal is to be in all 22 schools where we can take those students. They are volunteering for the class. They hear about it most of the time, word of mouth from their friends. That's how we are finding out, these kids are finding out about it.
So I think it's important right now to tell the public we're not shoving this
Oh,
anybody's
no.
It's all volunteer.
It is, these kids are hearing from their friends.
I mean, interrupt.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
How much they love the class. They love it. And sometimes kids are signing up because they hear, I get to go off campus.
Yeah,
But
true.
once we get them in the class, all we hear is, this is my favorite class.
Yeah.
I ran into a former student at an FCA meeting at North Myrtle Beach High School 2 weeks ago, and I just happened to run into a former student in the cafeteria on my way out of the building. And all she could say was, I want to take your class again. I miss it. And it was the sweetest thing to see her unexpectedly and to get that feedback from her. But these students are signing up. Their parents are signing off on it.
So they take a form home to their
They take a form home or a digital form.
Okay.
We get all that emergency contact just in case. But we really have, especially recently, beefed up our just ability to take these students off campus and know everything that we need to know about the student. We have every emergency contact we need. The parents know where we are at all times. We're able to work really well with the host facilities to ensure that we're giving these students the best experience they can possibly have.
Most time host facilities are churches.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
And that's what we would love. We have one facility right now that is not a host church, but that's in Aner. We have a building that is actually a Coastal School Ministries building, and it's very, very close to the school.
Good.
Yeah.
I got you. So they volunteer to take a slip home for their parents or guardians to sign. Once they sign it, and then the class runs every semester. Is that how it works?
Yes, that is how it typically works. We've had to pause 2 locations for this current spring semester. We've paused Whittemore Park Middle and Loris Middle with expectations to be returning back there in the fall.
Okay, good. And so they get on a bus at the school, is that right? And
That's right.
The bus is operated by the ministry, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. And I know I'm asking some nerd questions, but and you said it, no funding. So the bus, everything is bought by the ministry.
Yes.
Own insurance, all that kind of good stuff. And then you have your own teachers. And so once you get on the bus, you go to a school and then they jump into the curriculum. Okay,
That's right.
So, all right, I'm going to jump back in time a little bit, but like, where did this first start? I mean, did it start, where out in the country did it start? Anybody know?
I'll answer
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So in 2000, it actually started at St. James Middle School.
Okay,
And it originally started, the name of it was Autry Cares.
okay,
And that was the first, the name of the law, I guess, that allows us to do this is Release Time Bible Education.
okay.
And so that was the first one in Autry County. And it has grown from there. We changed our name to Coastal School Ministries. I believe it was in 2008.
Okay.
And have grown to 11 schools.
Wow.
So COVID kind of, set us back a little bit because students were e-learning at that time. Of course, there was no way for us to facilitate the classes because we can't use any type of public funding or be on any type of public, like the students can't use their public devices to be able to do our classes. So we did have to pause for a time, and that kind of hurt, the momentum that we had built up.
Yeah.
But the past few years, we've seen just it's like fanning the flame.
Yeah.
And the more people find out about Coastal School Ministries and what we're doing, they want to be a part of it, and they want to get involved in it.
Yeah.
So was there a certain group or person that first introduced the very early in 2000 Coastal School? Was there somebody that launched this? Or
Miss Diane.
Yeah. Yes, Miss Diane was a part of the original one.
Okay.
And she's our board chairman now.
Okay. Was it happening in other parts of the country that she heard about it to bring it to Autry County, or?
I'm not sure exactly how she would do
I can answer that.
Yeah.
Miss Diane actually came to a teacher meeting one time and shared this. It's the coolest story ever. She had heard about Release Time Bible before, but she had not really gone into how it would come about to be in Autry County. But she received a letter in the mail that was explaining to her. She did not ask for that letter to be sent to her.
Wow.
She really isn't exactly sure how it was sent to her, but opened it up and it explained what Release Time Bible is and how it's legal in South Carolina. And that really just sparked where we are today.
God, Mel.
In a little bit, just me doing some research for today, there was a court case that allowed it to happen in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
In the 50s. And I think Governor Sanford actually signed something to make it law in South Carolina to make us, to work it in there. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you so much. I want to ask from a teacher's perspective. Okay, so the students have got their form filled out.
Yes.
They get on the bus. So pick us up from there. Or who drives the bus?
I have a co-teacher, and we take turns. We take turns driving the bus, and we take turns teaching the classes for the day. So if she picks them up, she gets each class. We take them off campus. We unbus at North Conway Baptist Church. We have a classroom there. We have it all set up, ready for them to come in. 14 students per class. They come in, we have their Bibles ready, we have their notebooks out, everything's ready for them to sit down, open their textbook, which is the Bible, and we start. And I tell my students we are doing a very fast course from Genesis to Revelation, and we're going to cover as much as we can. We're going to spend a lot of time with Jesus, and we're going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn with them. And we have about 40 minutes, so give or take, with them. And then our timer goes off. They get back on the bus. We take them back and get the next group.
Wow. So y'all actually drive the bus, put them on there, go to the classroom, and bring them back. So how many classes do you do a day per school, general? How many?
I'm only at Conway Middle this school year, and I have 5 classes a day, 2 8th grade, 2 7th grade, and 1 6th grade. We have up to 14 kids per class, and all of our classes are pretty much full for us.
Wow, that's great. That's great. All right, Connor, I want to get your perspective. So take us into the life of a student being here. So, I guess my question is this, amongst all your students, are they excited about it? Do they hear about it? Do people in it enjoy it? I mean,
So I think most students definitely enjoyed it for sure. Obviously, the going off campus part is definitely fun.
Yeah.
And I definitely taught a lot of people. Most of the people in there were all friends, and so like just having that connection with each other, it made it very fun. And then able to learn about Jesus together, I thought that was really cool. And it almost felt like a Sunday school class, just with all your friends. You know, like I said, we're walking through Genesis to Revelation, and we're just learning it all together. And it was unique, and it was definitely cool. We went there during our exploratory blocks, and it was just, I don't know, it was very, very fun and exciting, and also just being able to have that personal connection with everyone.
Yeah.
And just seeing everybody's lives change. Like, everybody that walked in there, they like, no matter how you were feeling, if you're having a bad day, it always turned it good. And everybody in there was always smiling, it was always positive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. You don't ask you this question, like, so you're a business guy, so nuts and bolts sometimes. Like, has there been any problems, like, with, I don't know, organizations or people giving you hard times? Kind of take me to organization a little bit from a board member, like.
Oh, great question, Autry. With anything, you get a couple of opportunities for adversity.
Yeah. I like how you say opportunities.
Yeah. So with those, we kind of implement God's way. We kind of love our ways through those things.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of interactions to the schools that people want to lean more to the state side versus church side, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And those every one of those cases has worked out to be an awesome resolve, and to where we've had in the education side a little bit of pushback, but over the years we've just loved on them. The kids, though, the kids and the teachers, we got to give them all the credit. The teachers are really our foundation. Just their passion, their love for God, the love for kids, the love for getting the message out. Autry, I mean, you got to see it to really take it away, but I have seen it.
Yeah.
I've sat in the classes. I've watched these kids come in and just soak it up. And from the first day of school, they're looking for it. The world is not giving them what they want or they need, and they're looking for the truth. And this makes the most sense to them. And the fact that we have the opportunity to serve a group of teachers and to ultimately serve the kids is so rewarding. And it is really working. Like I said earlier, I've never seen such an impact come through. So it's like anything in business or in ministry or any organizations or any nonprofits. The struggle's real. But we got somebody paving our way that I love to be behind. That's the good Lord. And He has put opportunities there for us to navigate, learn from as a board, collaborating with our teachers, and taking so much from the kids too. So everything just works itself out.
That's good. Well, thank you all for answering. So the kind of question I want to ask now is, maybe y'all hit it somewhat, but like each of you, how you first learned about the ministry, and what's interesting to me, y'all all come from different aspects of life and different paths, but y'all are very singly focused on this. And like, what drew you to the ministry? So how did you hear about what drew you to the ministry, Shannon?
So how I heard about it, so I'm going to get emotional.
It's okay. That's okay.
My son had an accident 4 years ago. And he was in the Charleston burn unit for a week. And he said, Mom, I've got a friend that's going to come visit, if that's okay. And it was Chastity. And she was at Anderson University at the time. And she came and we met her. Well, lo and behold, they started dating. Such an event like that brought them together. And they started dating that week. And she's now his fiance. But
congratulations.
Yes, thank you. But in that process, when as we first got to know her, I asked her why she chose Anderson University. And she told me that she took a Bible class at her high school. It was the first class that they had at the high school. And I just, I was like, what are you talking about? How is that possible? And she said, well, they bus us off campus. We go right down the road to a building, and we got to learn about the Bible for the whole semester. And she said it changed my life to the point that I wanted to go to a Christian university and study nursing. So that was the first time I heard about it. But I think, like everybody else, there's such a mental block about the separation of church and state and really being able to have a Bible class. I thought it was just an Aner thing.
Right.
Like I thought, okay, Aner's over there, you know, they're able to kind of do some things that maybe everybody else isn't going to get to do.
Yeah.
But I'm in the Conway Rotary Club, and Mr. Randy Hilburn, who was our executive director at the time, came and visited the club and talked about Coastal School Ministries. And then I started realizing that it was a bigger thing than what I thought it was.
Right.
But we didn't have the classes in the Conway schools.
Yeah.
So like Amanda, I was like, I don't understand how it's possible that we don't have these classes in the Conway area. My son Blake, he had graduated, and not that I was looking for, you know, him, you know, for personal reasons.
Yeah.
I was looking for our community.
Right.
Yeah.
For, I call all of our children in Conway my children.
Yeah.
And just wanting to make sure that they got that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
So that's what really got me on fire about
Wow.
Coastal School
Wow,
Ministries.
that's great.
How about you, Neil? What introduced you to the ministry, and what drew you to it?
I think deep down I was looking for something to pour myself into, just identifying with where we're at the world today. I mean, a lot of us don't want to touch on that subject because it's sensitive, but we're here because I don't think our youth are getting what they used to get 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So wanted to be youth oriented, and just in searching around, talking to some buddies and other church friends, and a friend of mine that's really involved in the Aner Coastal School Ministries district kind of said, look, they need some help over at the beach. So he kind of put Randy and myself together, and just started off as a donor, spreading the word around Myrtle Beach a little bit, trying to help some fundraising over here. And as that relationship kind of grew with Randy and I, he came to me and said, look, would you be interested in serving as a board member? And really kind of was humbled and jumped at the opportunity. And it's been one of the best moves I've made. Because like I said, I'm probably taking more from this than I'm giving back.
Oh, for sure.
In my walk. And it's, like I said before, it's just humbling.
Yeah.
That's great. How about you? How did you hear about it the first time?
Okay, well, I had a really good friend of mine at church who reached out to me regarding the ministry, and she's a teacher with Aner. And she asked me a few times. She told me about it. I went looking for it on Facebook, found it, did some research, and I love the ministry, but I did not love the idea of being with middle schoolers all day.
Had to be a
And here you are.
Yes. So I said no a few times to teaching, because I knew I wanted to be a part of the ministry and the mission and the cause and sharing Jesus. It's my favorite thing to do, but I didn't know about the middle school part.
Yeah.
But but you know, I prayed about it, and I fully believe that the Lord makes you super uncomfortable whenever you're not obeying His will. And He made me really uncomfortable, and I took the leap and I did it, and I'm 4 semesters in, and I love it. I love every student I've met. I love their journey. I love getting to know them, and I love teaching them about Jesus, praying with them every day, hearing about what's going on with them. Yeah, it just means so much to me. And now I know I'm doing what the Lord wants me to do.
I guess the thing for us is, or the thing for me was, you always hear all these complaints, especially from church people, about God, you know, they've taken God out of public schools, and there is a lot of truth in that, but this was a way that God has been put back into public schools. And so I just wanted to be a part, and when we heard about it, we jumped at the opportunity, and Allison was there and Randy was there at the time, and I was like, how can I serve? How can I be a part? And they were like, do you want to be a board member? And I was like, yes. I don't even know what that entails, what that means, or what that's going to look like, but yes, I answered the call to that without question. And you know, like Neil said, definitely more of a blessing to me than I had been to it. But yeah, it's just phenomenal.
One thing I did just remember was that as my husband and I had moved here, we'd been here about a year, and we were trying to find the church that was right for us to join. We had visited some different churches, and the first Sunday that we went to the church where we now go, Faith Presbyterian in Myrtle Beach, we opened up the church bulletin. And there was a Coastal School Ministries insert that the church had printed off from our monthly newsletter to update the congregation on the prayer requests and the praises and the celebrations and just what was happening at the Myrtle Beach locations, because that's where our church sponsored. So to go from a couple weeks before hearing about it on the radio, which I don't really listen to the radio. It was super early in the morning. Our former executive director was on the radio. And then seeing buses everywhere, and I'm like, what is this? Making Bible a part of public school? Like, that's a big statement, you know? And then a friend, the Wellens family, I believe you've had, y'all know some of them. They invited me to the gala, and I just felt so inclined to reach out to the directors at the time. I really didn't know enough about it. So before I was interviewed for the job, I actually kind of held an interview. Just, I needed to know how it operated, how I could fit into it, and how I could use the art of teaching that I had experienced in my missionary training from previous experiences in my life. How that combined, and it's so beautifully. I mean, it's like the Lord planted two separate seeds in my heart and then said, here it is together. So,
Together.
I actually originally rejected the idea of the class. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't want to be in it. I actually chose to take gym class instead of it because
I didn't help me.
it just even though my mom was the teacher, I rejected it initially. But then that first semester, I saw a lot of kids that come up to me after the class and they would talk about just how much they loved it, how much they loved my mom teaching and just what they were learning. And then it just, I don't know, it kind of led me eventually to just kind of give in and just take the class and just see what it has to offer. Like, what's so cool about this?
So you didn't take the first semester?
I didn't. No, I actually, I
Mom
chose
gave you
to.
some room to fly there. That's great. Yeah.
And so,
No.
and so when I took the class, I wasn't too excited about it. I just kind of walked in. I mean, my mom's the teacher. That was my favorite part of it. But then, we started learning about these stories, and it was kind of more than what we did in Sunday school. It wasn't just, the stories that you hear, the Red Sea and whatnot. It really got specific and actually understanding it, which I really enjoyed, and it helped me to kind of just process everything and understand it. And then obviously another thing was that students would always bring their Bibles to school and start telling other people all the things that they learned and all that, and it just it truly changed my life, and I loved seeing it also change other people's lives, especially my friends and those who I'm with every day.
Let me say, it's America. How anybody wants to educate their kids is their choice. That's what I love about America, freedom. But I personally like public schools because I think it gives a diversity to my kids that they find in the real world. I really think that's very helpful. So my question is do you see kids coming from different points of life, different social backgrounds, economic backgrounds that are in the ministry? Does that question make sense?
Yes, yeah. In many facets, that makes sense. I'm not just thinking socioeconomic, I'm also thinking just where they're from or where their parents are from or behaviors, all sorts of things I'm thinking about. When I was teaching at the North Myrtle Beach High School location, we had large amounts of diversity in multiple ways. A lot of schools are more diverse today than they were maybe 20, 30 years ago in South Carolina, which I love. And I also noticed that at the beginning of the semester, our students didn't always know each other. Some classes, maybe they purposely tried to sign up. I know you said you had a lot of friends in your class. That's wonderful. But that doesn't always happen. So it's an opportunity for these students to meet new people that go to their school. One of the most beautiful things that I saw were kids that maybe you would never expect to be friends or never expect to bond. And those are the kids that really bonded through Bible class. And then we've received messages after that semester I'm thinking of 2 specific kids who messaged us and said, we want to start a Bible study with kids from our school. And those were 2 kids that I did not anticipate growing so close together.
Wow. So different kids from different paths of life are going to your ministry, you would say. That's great. From you being a teacher now, do you see that? Do you see just different kinds of kids in your classroom? Tell me about that.
I do. I see, where I wanted to start that with, when we start each semester, we spend a good bit of time going over our rules and our expectations with our students. And one of the rules that we have in our classroom that I share every single day, that we are going to be family. You may not feel it right now, but by the end of this, we are a family, and we're going to be kind, and we're going to treat each other with respect and all those things. And it really helps to build that. We do things together. We pair up together. Nobody is left out. Everyone is included, and we do a lot of different activities and reading the Bible, and no one is ever, I don't want anyone to ever feel like they can't participate, they can't read, they can't pray. I love to start each class with prayer, and we have students that volunteer, and then once I have a few, it kind of rolls over, and the ones that you would not think would talk or answer a question, they're, Miss Carmen, can we pray? I want to pray. I have a prayer request.
Wow.
And I love that.
So they do open up to you?
They do. They open up.
Wow.
We get to talk and pray together. I get to know more about them. And they come from a lot of different places, a lot of different denominations, a lot of different home lives, what's acceptable, what's not, and I'm just there to love them and teach them Christ.
Amen. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Shannon, do you got a personal story that you've heard where the Bible and the Lord's made a difference in a student's life?
Oh, we hear the stories every month at the teacher meeting. They have a monthly teacher meeting, and it's just where all the teachers get together and really share their stories of what's happening in the classroom. I had mentioned Chastity, so that was really the first witnessing account that I got from somebody from the classroom. And she does go with us to events and to churches to share about Coastal School Ministries and to give her testimony. But she did not grow up in a Christian home. And as we found through doing some surveys with our students, about 85% of our students are unchurched. 85%.
That's powerful. That's great.
So they don't have a Bible at home. They've not been to a church. They don't really understand that church doors are open for them.
Wow.
A lot of students have this misconception that in order to go to a church, you're supposed to be a member of that church. You've got to fill out an application. You've got to do all these things before you can go through the doors of the church. And so them being able to come to the class and realize that everyone's welcome. It's a beautiful thing. But there's a lot of stories. I guess the one that sticks out most to me right now is one of the students, she's been taking the class, and she would go home and she would tell her sister what she had learned in the class.
Wow.
And her sister would go to her school, she was in high school, and tell her friends. And her friends, they wanted to do a Bible study together.
Wow.
And as she was going home to tell her sister, her mom started listening in.
Wow.
And her mom got very interested in all the lessons that were taught every day. So eventually this whole family decided to start going to church.
Amen.
So it's not just the students. It's reaching their friends at school. It's reaching their families at home in the community.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Neil? You got a personal story?
Yeah, a couple. Probably the one that triggers me is the one that I was told as a third party as I was starting to get involved in the ministry. It was about a student that had came in, and he had signed up just to get out of class. He said that's what to do and get off campus. Came in every day, put his head down, didn't pay any attention. Teacher engaged with him and just said, just listen. We're not going to force this on you. This is your choice. We're just here to spread God's word. And through the first couple of weeks, didn't get much out, but started to notice that the kid picked his head up. Just picked his head off the desk, wasn't sleeping through it anymore. By the end of the semester, Now, I don't know who's trying to read the Bible in a year. They are teaching it from Genesis to Revelations in one semester, in an hour. And the download is unbelievable.
Yeah.
These kids get it. And it's such a simple story about love. That's all it is. It's the most amazing love story you've ever heard. And they're getting it, and they are transitioning, and they're feeling that love. They are feeling how important they are in God's eyes. Doesn't matter what the social media says or what that clique over there says. I'm important in God's eyes. He built me perfect.
Wow.
And they're walking out of there with that message, and they're sharing that message, and they're caring strongly. So that particular child signed back up the next semester, took it again.
Wow.
And asked for his own Bible. I had my own Bible, gave him one, and by the end of the semester, kind of witnessed to the teacher and said, "Look, I was on drugs. I was having a bad time. My family was in bad shape. But through his experience, his second semester, he did it just so he can go back and teach it to his family, just like Shan was saying. And now his whole family, his father stopped drinking.
Amen.
And his whole family had gotten into a church. Just by this program being here, saved an entire family. And now what is that family doing now? I don't know. I've heard stories of kids just getting the seed planted on them, maybe not catching it right then and there, but 2 years, 3 years later, coming back to a teacher saying, "You saved my life."
Amen.
And we have our teachers, each board meeting, we have a teacher come in and witness to us and give us a story. We touch base with our teachers. Our class at Myrtle Beach, I was talking with our teacher at Myrtle Beach last week, and he's saying that I think he's only had 2 students in all his classes, so he's more than 90% unchurched kids.
Wow.
And just in 4 weeks, he's watching them evolve and coming and getting it and coming to it and excited about it. And you were talking about what's the kind of demographic. You'll watch these kids. If you can go watch the first class, they come in and they're diversified. Through how social and the world is doing it. By the end, they're united. And these teachers have taught them how to break down what society has taught them and just love one another. You know what I mean? We're all brothers and sisters, and that message is getting rooted deep into these kids, and it's changing lives.
Amen. Man, that's great, buddy. How about you, Amanda? A personal story?
So mine is much like Shannon's. I remember a teacher came to our board meeting and was talking about how the student came from a home life that was unchurched. Mother and father didn't believe in Jesus, and as she grew in her faith in Coastal School Ministries, she would take it home to her family and her parents. And over time, it was not just a student accepting Christ and having a personal relationship with Jesus, but it was an entire family. And so this is not just changing teenagers' lives and students' lives. This is changing the lives of homes in Horry County, and just making a vast difference.
That's good. Another personal story you want to share with us?
I would love to.
Yeah.
So one thing I also love about Coastal School Ministries is that we are very interested in partnering with other ministries that are serving our same demographic. So our main calling is the youth, the middle school and high school students. And through that, I got to meet some people who work with FCA in the area. And one of my dear friends, Erin Grawl, is leading FCA at North Myrtle Beach High School, and she invited me to come to their morning devotion a couple Fridays ago. I mentioned I was at the school. And the reason she invited me is because one of our former students was leading the devotion.
Wow.
So I got to go be fed in the Word by one of my former students at 7:45 on a Friday morning, and probably saw 10 or 12 of our former students in that auditorium before school started, and just looking around, watching them take notes, watching them help each other take notes. Another student comes up and prays for them, and just seeing the joy on their face and the joy on my face when we saw each other, because it had been a whole semester and a summer since we'd seen each other, to know that that connection was still so strong, and it was like no time had passed. It reminded me, and sometimes we need that reminder that what we're doing is eternal. It matters. And though sometimes on this earth we're not going to see that, Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. I do plan to go back and see those kids. There's other students that were there that I got to speak with who gave their life to Christ during our class. One girl in particular I'm thinking about, she actually experienced salvation at one night, which was held at Langston, where y'all attend. And she came back to class, I believe that Monday, that next day. And just grabbed me to the side to tell me. And she was one of those students that was at FCA that morning. So just to see her continuing to learn and grow and putting effort towards that.
Yeah.
And like you said, partnering with churches and other organizations, we're working together. And I think that's one thing we miss in the church is we're working together.
Yes.
We're not pulling different directions. It's one church.
We can't thrive without
absolutely.
community.
That's good.
Yeah.
Connor, is there anything that comes to your mind, or a friend, or maybe somebody that you wouldn't expect? It's maybe not a church kid that you could tell us.
Well, I mean, I remember particularly in my friend group and all of us, because one thing about us, we all went to church, but we didn't read the Bible. We just kind of went to church just because like we got forced to, dragged out the house, whatever. And so, like the first semester, a lot of my friends took the class. Yeah. And I remember like just seeing them come back to school every day, just how like excited they were almost, and they were just, I don't know, I also saw like an attitude change in them. Like they went from like such bitterness and just like, I don't know, like darkness to actually like just being joyful and loving to other people and like serving and just loving people. And I mean, also like in my class, I mean, I remember this student in particular, he was one who wasn't really a churchgoer. He slept a lot in the class. He came from very rough circumstances, and I mean, I don't know what drew him to that class, but I knew he was in there. And then the first few weeks he didn't really do too much. You know, he kind of slept in there. He didn't really understand what was going on. But throughout the semester, like everything changed. Like, you know, he wasn't sleeping in the class. He was very enthusiastic. Like I remember at the end of the semester, he was the one that was actually answering all the questions and was actually very curious, which, I mean, was amazing to see, especially considering I don't even think he opened up a Bible ever in his life. So just seeing that was life-changing.
That's great. That's great. As y'all were all talking, you know, me and Amanda have always talked with our kids about that, you know, with different circumstances of life. And honestly, we've always told our kids one of the best meals that some students get will be a meal they get at school sometimes. Sometimes, you know, that's the best meal they get or the only meal they get a day. It just brought to my mind that like some of these students would probably never walk in a church, and this is the only opportunity they'll ever have to hear about the Bible or get Bible teaching, you know. So y'all are doing great work. The other thing that y'all said a couple of times this whole interview, which I think is very important, is you're teaching the whole Bible, because the Bible is, I think you said, and it was God's love story all the way through. And I'll even say, even in church-going kids, sometimes just no topical teaching. I think it's important to learn the whole Bible. They understand it better. So I think that's amazing what y'all are doing as well.
Can I talk about our curriculum a little bit?
Please, tell us about it.
Yeah, so we use the Firm Foundations curriculum, and it is called Firm Foundations for a reason. It walks you through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. We've said that chronologically, and so that's the way God's presented it to us. Why not present it to the students the same way? What's amazing, and I love sharing this with American churchgoers, is that this curriculum was designed for non-believers who have never heard of Jesus. They've never heard of the gospel. They've never held a Bible. It's for people in third world countries who are unreached.
Wow.
And it works so well with our American kids. But that's just because it's the Word of God that we're presenting. So I think one thing that we do really well now, and I want to keep doing, is with our church partners. I want them to know what our curriculum is. I want them to be aware of what we're teaching, how we're teaching it. It's very important to us that we stay true to the Word of God, and that what the kids are going to take away from our class is not any sort of interpretation or commentary, but it is strictly the Bible. We do a lot of memory verses with the kids. We provide Bibles for the kids, like Carmen said earlier. The Bible is our textbook. We just happen to have a supplemental curriculum that aids our teachers in doing it well.
Say that one more time. What is your textbook?
The Bible is our textbook.
That's good.
I love that.
There's a lot of churches can learn from that too.
That's right.
That's good. That's great. Good. I didn't mean to interrupt you. So that's really good. Okay, so tell me a little bit about it. So y'all are an organization, self-funded. So do y'all have
Tell me about, you got some about a gala y'all have as far as fundraising. Tell me about that, as far as when that's coming or.
So we started the gala 2 years ago. That was how we were able to fund getting the Conway schools started. And the first year we really concentrated on the Conway area churches and community, because the biggest thing is awareness, right? When people don't know about the ministry, then they don't know. If what you don't know, you don't know. And so that was the biggest hurdle for us, is just community awareness. And that first gala allowed us to start the classes in Whittemore Park Middle School and Conway Middle School. So last year when we held it, we decided to maybe focus more on the beach and getting more churches involved from the beach area. So Neil helped with us on that, as well as Ned, Mr. Ned at North Myrtle Beach, and really focused on the Myrtle Beach area to get the awareness out there. And so this year, we're actually looking for a bigger venue. The Peanut Warehouse has been a huge blessing. It's a beautiful venue. It holds 300 people. So if we're getting our invites there and Myrtle Beach is getting their invites, we really need a bigger venue. So we are looking at that.
Is there an area that y'all want to try to target this year, or a school that, I know you want to be in all of them, but
yes,
is there one y'all are particularly looking at?
So we need to get in Carolina Forest, and we need to get in Green Sea. Both of those areas are really asking for us to come into those areas, and we want to. Funding and teachers and school buses.
But also through churches, am I right in saying that Neil, you've been speaking to churches?
We don't want to just teach the children and put them back out there.
Yeah.
We need partnerships with youth groups.
Yeah.
So we want to hand the kids off.
Yeah.
We only get them for a semester, and they're fresh. A lot of them are fresh to it. We want to get them in the youth program. We want their faith to keep growing. We want this to stay strong. And then also, we need the third-party locations to take them to. So we need sponsor churches in these areas. And that's what Shannon was talking about. We're getting, hey, our community's heard about it. Our church has heard about it. What does it take? Yeah. As a board, you just want to jump out there, but we got to strategically plan.
Yeah.
We have to create something, a ministry that's sustainable. We have to forecast budgets, everything else. But we're all excited.
Yeah.
We're all ambitious, but all strategically setting us up for success.
Man, that's great. That's really, really, really good. Good. Awesome. So, the gala's November, kind of working on towards that. Lots of ways to pair stuff. And Neil, I hear you say that if someone wants to certainly plan, get with y'all, but y'all will come show someone the classroom and what's going on. If a pastor or somebody wants to come visit the classroom, y'all have done
We'll
that.
come speak to your church.
Yeah.
If your church has got interest, or you have another group or other ministry, we are here to serve.
Okay, good.
That's here. And any way we can serve God's kingdom, let us know. We're here to help and collaborate any way we can.
Did I hear you say that they even came to the Rotary Club and spoke there?
Yes.
So y'all come talk to anybody.
Any club,
Churches,
churches, any kind of men's groups,
Okay.
ladies groups, or Sunday school class. We'll come.
Or
We'll go
one-on-one.
anywhere.
Yeah.
One-on-one,
Yeah.
yes.
You're just curious,
And that's
all of us will come sit down with you.
very informally too. So many of our teachers and board members, it's just on the tip of our tongue. We're just talking about it because we love it. But we would love to plan a set time where we can come and present.
And another story I know that many of our listeners have heard is where the starfishes are washed up on the shore. There's this kid just throwing them back in there. And a parent comes along and says, well, why are you doing this? You can't save all this. He says, but if I can save a few of them. And I just think that's the kind of difference y'all making. Hey, we get some young people that don't know the Lord, don't know anything about the Bible. It's making a difference, and it spreads.
Yes.
So y'all are doing great work. Okay, so as we're finishing up, I want everybody, anything that y'all miss as we go around the room, another story or something that, is like, I want to share this, feel free. So I'm going to start with you, Amanda. Any other personal story, anything that you want everybody to know?
I just remember being in middle and high school myself and, having devastating moments that you have to walk through as a student or a high schooler. And there's really not any student that's not walking through some sort of hardness in their life. And the only hope that we can truly give somebody is Jesus. And without Jesus, I'm telling you, I would have never made it through. So grateful for the Lord, and knowing that what we're doing is, the whole time I've been sitting here, I think about our kids and how they'll bring home after an algebra class or something that they're not going to need for the rest of life because maybe they're not going the math direction or whatever. I'm not taking away from the fact that we need to go to school. I get that. But bring home binders of things that they've worked on all year long and trashing it and saying, Mom, I never have to see this or think about this again. But it's not that way with this class. This class lasts. This class is what we can stake our lives on. We're giving these kids hope and something that lasts for eternity. And so if I could say one thing, I would just compel churches to give. I know Langston, we double give to the ministry as a church. I can speak for our church because we so believe in this ministry. God, you're never too old to be able to come to Christ, ever. But the formative years of giving your life to Christ is a teenage year, is your childhood years. And so I would just say this ministry is worth giving your time to, worth giving your money to. And I would just ask that you don't even wait to the gala, give now. Churches, if you're not giving, if you're a church member, ask your pastor, are we giving to this ministry? And if we're not, we should be.
Yeah. Or if you want to be a teacher.
Yes, teacher too.
Closing thoughts.
I would say that I didn't have something like this growing up either.
Yeah.
Blessed to say that I grew up in a God-fearing home.
Yeah.
On both sides of my family. I mean, it's just ingrained in who we are. So I'm blessed to say that. But at the same time, I love how he said it's like having Sunday school class every day. Because if I had Sunday school class every day of my life, I think a lot of questions I would have been more comfortable asking. And that's something I'm noticing our students are not afraid to ask questions. I was observing a class, actually Carmen's class last week, and they've only been in the semester a handful of weeks. And those kids were not afraid to ask questions. It's giving these students a safe place. There's no condemnation in Jesus, and there's no condemnation in not knowing or asking questions. And so these students are in a place where they feel loved and encouraged first, and they know they can trust our teachers and that they're in a place that actually cares about them as an individual. We're not trying to make robots. We're not trying to create little mini versions of us. Each child is made uniquely in their mother's womb, and we're just here to nurture them in the spirit. So I have just witnessed, we could give story after story. So I would like to sum it up by saying that I've witnessed these kids become equipped and knowledgeable in the Word in a way that I was not at their age, and it's such a blessing to see that and to see them go back out into the world.
Yeah.
That's good. Closing thoughts, buddy?
I think one thing that I love seeing is that excitement of people wanting to come to church and actually learn about the Lord, because that's not something that you see a lot at a young age. I can tell you that from experience. Just going to church, it just wasn't fun to me really. And I know that's the same way with a lot of teenagers. I see that a lot now. So seeing those people genuinely excited to come back every day and to learn more, and they were just so eager to learn, and they just, it truly made an impact on everybody. And then you see it reflected throughout the year. People were happier, they actually had hope, and then there was just so many people getting saved, and it was just awesome. And I even see that right now with some of the other former students. We still talk about it to this day, and how it still impacts them and all the stuff that they learned. So the impact that it's made has just been amazing.
That's awesome, buddy. How about you? Your thoughts?
My thoughts would be that I'm thankful for this privilege and this opportunity to do something that I never in my wildest thought I would ever do. But I prayed for the Lord to use me, and He's using me, and I'm just thankful that I get to do this every day.
Well, thank you for being willing. Thank you, Neil.
I want to thank you, Autry. I want to thank you for putting yourself out there to hit on content that is not so popular, but needed. And also just want to thank our teachers. The teachers, they are really out there hitting that adversity head on and overcoming just mountains each and every day through their faith. So I just want to thank them and you for what everybody's doing.
We all doing the hard work, buddy. So how about you, Shannon?
I want to thank you as well.
Oh, you're too kind.
My prayer was for us to come on your show, and my prayer is that through this, maybe a few people will hear about Coastal School Ministries, and if nothing else, keep us in your prayers.
Amen.
Pray for protection as our students go. You know, it's kind of scary in a bus going back and forth to from school to the church location. We all know how Autry County school or roads are. So just pray for protection. God's been good to us. I know He's laying the groundwork for this ministry, and we're just believing and trusting in that. But we thank you so much for allowing us to come.
Thank y'all for coming. I just like to say to all of y'all, thank you for your work and investing in God's kingdom. So friends, it's not much I can add to this today. So get involved, learn more about this ministry. If you're an individual and you want to give, you want to find out more, reach out. If you're a church, if you're an organization, there's many ways you can help this. But if you want to change somebody's life, get involved in this ministry. Join us next time.